All right, I'd like to look at the patrol mechanism that I've coded here for my Bossk giant lizard man. As we can see, these cubes represent waypoints that are in a patrol game object. There's nothing special going on with this, except for the fact that the box colliders are triggers on the waypoints, and that I have them in order. So here's one here on the lower left, and then lower right is two, lower or upper right is 3 and upper left is 4. So that is the order of operation. So they would need to be in order to get him to patrol on the path like we want. And then just to demonstrate here, I do have a speed variable set. So if I switch this to walk, then when he rounds this corner, he will switch speeds to a walking speed, but it's just really slow. Now the speed of the animator is based on the root motion. So I'm actually not using root motion to drive him because I have problems with that. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I'm using the um, nav mesh agent to move him, but I'm adjusting the speed of the nav mesh agent based on whether he's based on the root motion of the animation. Okay, and I'll show you guys that here in just a second. So let's look at our movement scripts. The basic mover script is this one. And so we have um, uh, required components of NavMesh agent and enemy animator controller. Um, and then we get those components in our awake and we set a goto. So goto comes in with the destination, and then I have a default speed set of walk. So you can come in with a speed parameter or not, but if you don't, he's going to walk. And then we have the go method, which is just a enumeration on walk and run. And so we had on our speed enumerator here. Okay, the next component is the waypoint handler. Got some dead code down here, but basically the idea is this. We start by getting the first waypoint. Here on line 26, we get the first waypoint under the patrol. So there's a transform with the patrol. The first waypoint under the patrol. And then we're going to go to that, and this is the serialized speed variable, so we can change his speed while he's walking around through the, as a test. And then on trigger enter is where the magic happens. Now I was trying to do this in update, and I realized that's not necessary. We don't need to be watching for the waypoints if we have a collider on the waypoints. So if we have the collider, basically what we do is we check to see if the collider is the current waypoint. So if the collider comes in on trigger enter, we check just to see, hey, is that the same as the current waypoint? And if it is, then we've reached the waypoint. We get the next one. Get next waypoint isn't anything special. We just get the sibling index of the current waypoint and then check the next index. If it's more than the child count, cycle it to 0. Otherwise, keep going. And so that's how I handled the waypoint patrol behavior. This variable here is unnecessary. And so is this one technically patrolling, although that may be a valuable switch in the future. So I'm not going to get rid of that one, but I'm not using it right now. We could use that to cause this to not work if we wanted to shut off the waypoint controller, which we may here in the near future. And then the final component here is called the enemy animator controller script. And so what this guy does is um, uh, basically turns off the root motion, which is important. We don't want it double driven. We just want to, so we apply root motion false, but the root motion still has a speed, okay? It still has a speed. So what happens down here is on animator move is we take the agent speed and we set it equal to the delta position of the animator divided by time.delta time. And that is what adjusts the speed of the agent to match the speed of the animator. And it makes the animations look okay. Not great, but okay. There's that. And then the rest of this, of course, is just methods for controlling the speed parameter on the animator. Here's the animator here. Bring it in. Okay, so we have the two-hand axe idle, switching to the blend tree, and this is based on the variable speed. So if the speed comes in as greater than 1, let's see it over here. I just lost the animator window. Oh well, there it is. Okay, so if the speed comes in as greater than 1, all right, then that's when greater than 0. I'm sorry, that's when we switch to our blend tree. The blend tree just has the two um, animations. All right, and so that's how he patrols. So the next step then will be to get him to stop patrolling if I attack him, and then have him come attack my character with that big old sword. There we go.